Alright. For those of you who are watching, I'm going to do a quick, rapid, well, maybe not quick, but a rapid game as part of my journey to 1800 ELO. I'm going to start, so I'm going to do 15-minute, 10-second increment game. I am tired. We'll see how this goes. Okay, we're going to do an D4 game. Oh, play it safe, do another London. Alright. I believe is the response to D5. Okay, so here we're just gonna go E3. Sometimes you get a real easy knight. That doesn't look like it would be the case. We got Maximin 61 from Italy, 1586. Okay, so I would just keep developing. I'd probably go knight e2 just to keep that diagonal open for the moment. Now, now probably knight f3. Does this work? I mean, you really have to, because the bishop's got to get out, and if we vacate that square, then we can take on g2, so let's go ahead and just not take too much. This is pretty simple and simple now. Pretty basic London position. So now probably bishop d3. Keep developing the normal way. All right. I think that e4 is a move, or I can castle. Ooh, hold on a sec. Castles, e5. I can't take. That's a bit of an issue. If I take, I got the bishop. So maybe we do play e4. But he can still see e4. e5. Alright, so I might just need to drop the bishop back, because I think there is a bit of a threat there. No matter what, here, I can't take. Drops the bishop, so. Maybe, I don't know, knight c4, it's kind of a weird move. Doesn't have, I can't go anywhere. We're talking about bishop, but I don't want my knight here. Doesn't make any sense, it's better. I'll just go back. Doesn't work. No, I'm just gonna drop the bishop back. I don't love that move, but this is kind of a problem. Because even if I leave the bishop there, if I would have castled, and then here, drop the bishop back, e4, that's a fork. Right, so not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. Thinking. I mean, that bishop is goners, so I'm just gonna go ahead and castle. Hello to those of you who are watching. I'm just doing my daily rapid game or my Journey to 1800 series. Not expecting much, nothing crazy because I'm tired. Okay, I need to get my queen into the action here. Now, queen e2 or just e4 right away. Takes, I'll take with a knight. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go e4 right away. So I lost my bishop. He has the bishop pair. I have to open F file, I suppose. And I'm just kind of looking at ideas of getting my queen over to, you know, h5, maybe something like this. The bishop will be pointing down that diagonal. Hi there, NRDT 360. I'm assuming that's not how you pronounce it. I'll give you some tips. I mean, getting to 1K is really, like, just be hyper aware of not blundering, basically. Yeah, I mean, I can give you some tips. That would be, up until, I would say, like, 1200, you kind of just, players lose because they just blunder. At one point in the game or another, you make some huge blunder. So, I could share, okay, 1 second here. So that I would take with a knight, but now, I take with a knight, it's going to open up my rook, and I can think about something like this. Or even here, that looks kind of nice. So I think I will, because if he plays e5, knight f5, kind of get into his business. Let's try it. I'm just thinking for a sec. For the moment, I mean, this knight can't go anywhere, so I'm going to take with a knight. What are those arrows for? Why do people do them? Just to show what I'm thinking and calculating. Yeah, so getting to 1200 elo, I would say the most important thing, first and foremost, is just not blundering. And that means before you're moving, really take a look at the whole board, make sure that if your opponent moved something or you moved something like a pawn or whatever it is, ask yourself, okay, what is it? What am I no longer protecting? Like if I were to move this pawn, for example, to e5, this pawn's covering these squares. If I move it, these squares are no longer protected. Just little things like that. Basically, it's kind of like an anti-blunder check is what my coach taught me. Do an anti-blunder check every single piece. If you can, and it's kind of just a clinical way to improve and get better. Beyond like 1200, 1300, I think it really gets more into like tactics, middle game, openings, that kind of stuff. Develop your pieces to good squares, get your knights to the center, or on good squares, get your bishops on open diagonals, and rooks to open files, and don't blunder, basically. That would be my simple advice. Also, it's probably better to play longer time controls as well. So he has a few pawn pushes in the center, but it would be a bit risky, seeing as though he hasn't castled yet, so we'll probably castle next. This will be more defended, but I'm going to be looking at the h7 pawn next. So if he's not careful, I will have my pieces starting to migrate over to this side of the board. I did just see, however, knight c5. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just drop the bishop back. Alright, so now queen g4 is looking real juicy. It might be... Is there something with a sack? Probably not. This will be weak if he ever moves that pawn, and if not, then I can play something like that. Or maybe queen h5. Instead of here, h6, stopping him from castling. And if here, castles, e5. Might be. I'm just deciding between Queen G4 and Queen H5. I like Queen G4. I like the kind of eyeballs this pawn. There's some possible sacks. And if he ever moves, you know, that'll be a pretty annoying move. Also winding up mate. I think that I like this better just because it hits both pawns, and this will certainly be met with. I don't know. I really honestly don't know. Between the two of those, I can't spot the better move. Probably both are okay, or maybe even good, but he's gonna have to make some decisions here. He can try to castle long, but that's dropping this pawn. And honestly, castling kingside is a little bit sketchy. Uh-oh. That does drop my bishop, however. No, that works. What am I talking about? This queen is hanging. So, knight e6, knight takes e6, queen d7, knight g7 check. Yeah, that looks good to me. I'm not going to think too much about that yet. I'll calculate as I go. Because I am down on time. Really? I don't know if that was necessary, but okay. Well, let's check it out really quick. So yeah, a little bit lower rated opponent, but they didn't play terribly. When I say a little bit, I mean like a little bit, just because going up against the 1700s, close to 1800s, I can tell the difference. So yeah, everything up until here is pretty standard, I feel like. I just like to keep an eye on what happens after, because people in the London often like to go knight h5. And I know that depending on the exact position, there's certain lines where you either go like bishop g5 or bishop e5, and then they'll go here, and then you're supposed to, so let's just look like, computer says bishop e5, and you know that they're going to play f6. Okay, so then you take the knight, and I guess, what, like, here, g4, the knight is dropped, okay. I have to remember that. And it's definitely e4, I think, not bishop, or bishop g5 too. Both are exactly the same. So let's look at bishop f5, g5, sorry. f6, what? h4? Oh, bishop h4. Yeah, okay. And people at this level, or I'm gonna see something like this, even though it says it's winning. This actually wants a sack. Because there's, yeah. Oops, of course. Check. Here, and that wins the queen. It's pretty dangerous already if they're not careful. I just need to remember, because some positions, it is an actual threat, like you just lose the bishop pretty much. That is what he ended up doing. Here, the best move, I dropped the bishop back and I was really unsure about it, but okay, so h3, but I thought this was too late. Pawn takes, but like, oh, the knight, yeah, geez, see, I didn't calculate enough. Knight takes and is protecting the bishop, so the bishop is no longer hanging, and he has nothing to immediately kick the knight away. This ended up kind of being why I won, though. You know, the open F file helped me win. So e4 was a good move, not the best. G4 is the G4 is the best, but I would not think to play that. I don't know why the computer wants G4. Pawn takes is better. Knight takes is a mistake. Let's see. I'm not really sure why though. It's another pawn in the center, of course, but I preferred opening up the F file and getting my queen out. Queen H5 is excellent. A4 is best. Yeah, okay. A4. It's a couple moves here. Hold on. And black is winning, technically. Black has a small advantage. But I felt pretty good about this position, because I guess it's kind of hard to, like, you have to be really precise, you know. The best move here is castling, but let's take a look at this. So castles E5, does that work? Probably not, because why? G6, that's what I had seen. I was just thinking about going, I don't know, Queen H6. Queen E2, yeah. Wants me to just drop back. So what if I'd gone Queen G4 instead? Castles still? Yeah, castles. I'm assuming the knight sack I was looking at really doesn't work. Let's just see though. Check. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing here. The rook's defended. I'm not really threatening to win anything. I could. It'd be cool if that. No, that wouldn't work at all. Well, but that's not what happened. This game, we made a blunder. Just didn't see that the pawn was pinned. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Feel free to hit the like button and subscribe if you like this content. Also check out my Twitch and Kick accounts where I'll be streaming regularly. I will be starting a new series where I'll be doing Blitz games with viewers, so you can feel free to challenge me at a game of Blitz. We'll analyze the game afterwards. And yeah, I'll see you for the next video. Thanks.